Welcome back to Let the Quran Speak. Now we answer common questions about Islam, and if you have a question yourself, please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Okay, Brother Shabir, this first question is, why did God create us?
I've answered this question in a variety of ways previously. I want to add something more to my answer so that if anyone collects all of our answers together, they get a well-rounded picture. Very briefly, one verse of the Quran says that God created us to worship Him. Another verse of the Quran says that God created us for His mercy, and I've put that together in previous shows. God created us so that we will receive His mercy by worshiping Him. That becomes now the avenue, the channel. But broader than this, there is an idea that God must have created multiple universes. Dr. Keith Ward of Oxford University said that if there's a good to be achieved, then God would achieve it. So if there is a good thing to be produced, then God would produce it. And certainly God would have an idea of a universe in His mind, and now He has to weigh in the balance the good parts and the bad parts of this proposed universe, and then decide, am I going to create this one rather than some other one? And naturally, He would create all of those in which there is such an overabundance of good as compared with the evil elements. It seems that our world is like that. So God created a universe that will generate persons like ourselves. Love is a good thing, and the love between people is obviously a good thing. But in order to generate this love between people, in order for it to be real love, human beings would have the freedom of choice, because you have to freely choose to love somebody for it to be real love. And naturally, that creates human beings that will have the freedom of choice, and the whole universe that will produce human beings with that freedom of choice has to develop in a particular way, and that is our universe as we have it.
So this is why God created us then?
Well, yes, to achieve the good things that could come out from creating us, even though there are some negative elements, but God has a way of repairing and overcoming those negative elements in the wider and broader view of things.
Okay, so let's move on to another question then. This question is it possible to make up missed prayers? And if so, how would one do so?
Now, the context of this is obviously that Muslims are required to pray at certain fixed times, 5 times a day usually. So if you miss one of the prayers, can you make it up by praying it later, outside of the stipulated time? Well, naturally, if you miss one or two, then the devout Muslim, normally accustomed to offering all of the prayers, would offer them as soon as they can, and this is what is recommended, it's known. Now, there is an idea that if you miss several years because you were unaware of your religion and now suddenly you became aware, now you want to pray every prayer on its time, and now you're thinking, what about the ones which are past for so many years? Well, some people recommend that you should try to pray them as well, but other scholars say no, that there is no precedent for this in the life example of the Prophet, peace be upon him. He never instructed anyone to pray so many prayers that have been passed, and you should just simply ask God to forgive you, and just be sure to pray all of the prayers on their right time from here onwards.
I guess it would be very tedious for one to always have to remember the past prayers that they have missed, especially if it's been many years.
Yes, and of course a simpler way has been devised by some scholars who recommend this. They say just pray one with every prayer as you're praying, and make up your intention that I'm either starting from the beginning or starting from the end, to make a sweep of all of them. And even if you don't finish them all, God will accept your intention that you did intend to complete this. But even making this kind of prescription can be discouraging for people to change their lives around, because now they think, if I change my life around, I have to pray all of those prayers.
All right, thank you for that, Brother Shabir.
You're welcome.
That's all the time we have. Please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. I'm Safiya Ali. For all of us here at Let the Quran Speak, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.